Joining me today at Corvette Funfest, certainly one of the role models and heroes to myself, as well as hundreds to thousands of young men and women, car enthusiasts from Guys George. I can remember watching Beverly Hillbillies, the Munsters, and in my wildest dreams of where my life would take me, it certainly would not have me sitting in Effingham, Illinois, talking to the creator of all of those cars. And I got to tell you, George, you set a new standard in my life. I know that you're closing in on 30. You told me the other day you were 29.
Yeah.
And when I hit that 29 that you're going to hit, I want to have your energy level. I want to have your enthusiasm for cars and people. So
that's a great level, but I kind of reverse it. I call it the people and the cars, because that's people make it first. But I like to start with something to start my innovation of Mike Yager and the Funfest. When I was first called to come here, yes, I met you at Pebble. Yes, we socialized and we enjoyed each other. When you asked me to come, I said, well, I kind of like to go see, they might have a couple hundred, a couple of Corvettes. Oh, we got a lot of Corvettes. I said, okay. Your drivers picked me up in St. Louis, to make it quick, and we're driving down, and all of a sudden there's a cornfield, there's a bean field, there's a dairy farm. I said, you guys are kidding me. You're going to have a car or a Corvette place in the middle of mid-America where it's all farming? Then all of a sudden I come on this roadway, and I look at this. It's an extravaganza. It's a city of its own for Corvettes in the middle of the field. I mean, I got to give you the biggest credit, because a lot of it goes, and most of it goes for your family and your crew. They're really terrific. They're all devoted, and it's enjoyable to get up in the morning and come and see everybody, and they say, good morning. How are you this morning? You want to enjoy the show. So that's...
Well, George, knowing how many car shows that you've done over your career and hearing those words from you, I want to tell you, it's made my weekend, because of someone that I would respect, and to hear those words from him, that's flattering. Thank you.
Appreciate it. But what you've done, in your whole family and crew, you've given everybody here an entertainment of any aspect, anything you want. Your car tuned, you want your muffler changed, you want your tires changed, you want to enjoy corn, or you want to go and get an ice cream, or go listen to music, or go to, I mean, anybody can spend a day here, and more than that, affordable. What you give to them, they get posters, they get a hardbound book that I love signing. My cartoon character was terrific. And this is the most important thing, and I guess that's why you've been successful, you and the family and everybody throughout the years, is because you devoted yourself, as well as the team. It is a team.
Absolutely, it is a team.
Yeah, and they do a tremendous job. My Parnelli Jones driver, Mal, over there, they're great. And her family, they've been working here for 20 some odd years. So, golly, I could talk more and more about what you guys are doing.
But I want to talk about George Barris.
Yeah.
Let me throw a car out at you, the Batmobile.
Yeah. Well, that was a fun project. Real quickly, I had to build a 20th century Batmobile, crime fighter, in 1966. Of course, right when I went to the script, I see a pow, bang, wow. I said, hey, Dozier, you don't want a crime fighter. You want a car that's going to do the same. So I put a chain slicer in it. I put Nassau ducts. I put gas knobs. I put oil spreaders and nail throwers and anti-theft controls and rocket tubes. So a car will do the same thing as what he did in the movie. Pow, bang, wow. So that was a great challenge. Great challenge.
Another car, General Lee, and I know you've had some fun with that lately.
I tied in with General Lee with John Snyder, who's a great driver, and of course, doing the very first concept of it. It's a Southern boy, and he's he got that little bit bootlegging going and things like that. When they brought in the Dodge Charge, it was that kind of a kid's car. They had it gray, and I said, well, you're in the Southern state. Gray is not a good-looking color. And John and I right away, I said, John, how about orange? So we went to the orange and put the Southern flag and everything in. Because building a lot of those cars, we've crashed them and jumped them, and we've done many things, and our stunt guys and everybody. And Snyder was a tremendous driver. So it was a super show. Super show.
Hey, stop it a second. Okay. You know, Mr. Barris, there's probably not a person here or a business here or a segment of the Corvette market that doesn't recognize and appreciate you. The guys from Callaway, SLP. How? I know you do not become callous to all the adoration of all the different people that ask you about your career, but walking in and seeing the current generation, the Callaways, the turbochargers, and what's happening. What do you think? What do you think of that side of the world?
Well, the excitement is really wonderful because the car culture is of many people. Hot rods, custom cars, rat rods, you name it. But this world here of not only performance but also in muscle tactics, but a lot of very good husband and wife would love going touring like Route 66 with their Corvette, like we did with when we did Route 66 TV show. And that's an enjoyment for them. It gives them something that they will, but then to come here and be a part of the whole world with other families and husbands and wives. So that makes it an important part, that working with the different companies like Callaway and the different exhaust companies and production companies is really terrific.
You know, George, the other morning when I introduced you, Friday morning on stage, after we got finished, Tom Wallace and Will Cooksey. Will Cooksey, the Corvette plant manager, he's been responsible for the build of every Corvette from 1993 through today. Tom Wallace, his vehicle line executive, is in charge of all the design and engineering and how it goes together with manufacturing. But they said to George Barris, they said, George, do you understand that your career, the things that you have done with the cars since the 40s and 50s, how it's affected designers? I got to tell you, George, that's one whale of a compliment.
I appreciate that.
Your thought on something like that had to be
very, very, very fruitful, very energetic to me, because it's kind of enjoyable when you walk through the crowds of people of any show and somebody walks up to you and says, "You're the legend. You're the icon. You're the guy that started all it." Well, it makes you feel good to say, "Gee, I'm only one of many guys that were in the car business, but I was fortunate."
But you're George Barris, though. I mean, there's lots of people, but there's only one George Barris that.
Well, I guess another thing is that being in America gave me this opportunity. Here I am, a 13, 14-year-old boy that loved cars and drew and drove, and I started playing with my mother's parents' first 25 Buick. But I had the opportunity to go into a craft in the USA and in America that allowed me to make it successful as it is today, like your craft and your success here in America was a very important factor.
George, if you had one thing to say to our customers that have never been to Corvette Funfest, what would be the George Barris hook to convince them to come to Effingham, Illinois, in those cornfields? What would you tell them?
First thing I'd say, don't worry about the corn and the bean and the cows. When you get to the ultimate castle of what you're going to see, you're going to have every bit of enjoyment, and you'll find out that 3 days is not enough. Not enough. You're going to have to spend more time. So if you can throw a little trailer behind your Corvette and spend the whole 3 days, you'll enjoy it along with all of your staff and people that will make it the most entertaining car event that I ever been. Better than Pebble Beach and Westmore, Grand National. They're car shows, but they're not people shows. You have the people shows.
George, I got to tell you, that's the highest compliment I think I could get from a man of your stature. Thank you.
Thank you again.